Hey guys, welcome to the reality.
Or welcome back to the reality.
It's episode 12. We have a very special guest.
So, guys, let's welcome Tina.
Woo!
What do you at, guys? How's
What
it
are you
going?
at?
We were waiting for you to say that.
Yeah, I got to start off with what do you at?
Yeah. So, what were your thoughts on being named captain?
I was quite surprised actually. It's just totally an amazing experience just to kind of participate in the Big Brother, whole life. But to actually get voted in as a captain, yeah, it certainly adds another level to the game for sure.
For
Yeah.
sure. And what was your thoughts picking each person for your team?
Well, myself and Kiefer, when we were in the OLG room, we kind of wanted to kind of offset our picks in terms of just kind of make it an even playing field kind of to start. So yeah, we just kind of offset our picks to who we thought was kind of even out the teams.
Okay.
Nice. And how long were you guys actually in that room for? Because it shows us like quick when you guys pick, but were you guys alone for like a long time?
I'm not really sure how long we were in there. As captains, we were allowed to kind of go in the house and explore a bit, and then we were into the OLG room, and then time kind of stands still and goes fast when you're in the house. There's so much to talk about in there. So you know what? To be honest with you, I honestly have no idea how long we were there. Could have been a half hour, could have been 3 hours. Who knows?
Oh, nice.
Wow.
Okay. So when did you and Tara become close?
Myself and Tara, I don't know. It just kind of evolved, I guess, throughout the first few weeks of being in the house. You know, when you're in the house and you have conversations with different people, you start to see who you have things in common with, and just who you jive with, and we just became good friends on a personal level first, I guess. So yeah, I mean, probably within the first maybe 2 or 3 weeks, I guess.
Nice.
Hey. And what was your plan going into the house?
You know what? I really didn't have a plan, so to speak, in terms of what my strategy was going to be. I kind of, I was going to go in kind of with a little bit more of a bigger personality. But of course, when I got into the house and, we got to see who was coming into the house, from the OLG room, myself and Kiefer, I kind of, I guess, kind of changed it a little bit in terms of how I was going to approach the game, because there were so many big personalities there. Yeah, so I just kind of wanted to kind of meet the people, see what types of personalities I was working with, and just kind of evolve from there. It's really hard to kind of have a pinpoint strategy because that goes out the door as soon as you go into the house.
Yeah, for sure.
During the first comp, it was like that green goo stuff.
Yeah.
And you put a lot in Jed's bucket, as we
I
saw.
did. Yeah. Sorry, Jed.
Why did you put so much? Was it because he was a possible threat, or?
You know what? He just looked like a strong physical player, and of course, I didn't really have a whole lot of time in terms of getting to know the people first. But just from I guess physical appearance, there was two or three that were kind of on that team that looked like they could have been physical threats and could have lasted a long time in that comp. And Jed certainly did last a long time. I just figured, hey, you know what, the guy's going to keep going all night, so I'm just going to have to keep adding guck to his bucket.
For sure.
Yeah.
And do you think anyone was gunning for you at any point in the game?
um, you know what? I honestly have no idea. I haven't watched any of the season yet. So it's kind of hard for me to answer that particular question. I did feel safe throughout most of the game, just because there were still bigger targets left in the game. But whether or not my name was thrown out prior, I honestly have no idea. I'm gonna have to watch it back and let you know.
For sure.
Yeah. And what were your thoughts when you and Tara and Kiefer were in the pantry and Kyle and Ro came to confront Kiefer?
Oh, that was you know what, I was a little taken back by it. You know, I'm not a confrontational person myself, so I kind of really didn't know what to do in that particular situation. And you know what, Kiefer's a big boy. He can you know, fend for himself type thing. But in the same breath, you know, it was probably a little uncalled for at that particular time, for the guys to kind of target him right then and there.
For
Yeah.
sure. I know you and Tara just went in there, just no.
We were getting ready to make supper, and it was like, oh, this is going down now. Okay.
For sure. And when do you think the Sunsetters like stopped, I guess, working with you?
You know, I guess from the Sunsetters point of view, I guess in that particular alliance, I never really truly felt part of the alliance, so to speak. I always knew where I fell in that kind of pecking order in terms of that group of six. So, you know, had, you know, hindsight 2020, had my time back, maybe I would have put more time into, you know, having more game conversations with with Jed, Beth, and Ty. Um, but we were, myself and Kiefer were kind of looking at it in the point of, I was getting close to people on the other side of the house as well. So it was kind of beneficial for Kiefer to kind of be the in-between person between myself and the Sunsetter. So just so that it kind of didn't, you know, it kept it under wraps, so to speak. In terms of, you know, when they kind of, I guess, didn't think I was part of it, I honestly have no idea. I guess the feeling might have been mutual in that regard.
And do you think you were blindsided when they put you up for eviction?
No, I definitely don't think I was blindsided. I kind of knew at that particular point that, you know, kind of options were running low in terms of who they were going to put up for nomination. And then, of course, you know, when they put Kiefer up alongside of me, the initial plan that week was to evict Kiefer. But you know, you start to get a feeling or a vibe throughout the week in terms of how it's going to start to kind of sway one way or the other. So I had a couple of conversations, and I just knew that was going to be the time that they were going to evict me, unfortunately. But it is what it is.
Yeah, and you were barely nominated. I mean, at all.
Yeah.
So how do you think you got so far without being nominated once?
You know what? I guess, you know what? Maybe people didn't see me as a threat. You know, I was kind of good with everyone in the house. You know, I didn't really have any beefs with anyone. So I think from that standpoint, my social game was kind of decent in the sense that I kind of, you know, I wasn't on anyone's radar. You know, both physically and you know, in terms of a physical and a strategic kind of threat. So you know, I use that to my advantage. You know, I just kind of wanted to be good with everyone.
Okay. And were you working with anyone that like maybe we didn't know of, or like, oh yeah, because you haven't watched it. So
I
we,
haven't watched it, so
yeah,
I'm
so
not ready.
but like we know like you were working very close with Tara and then obviously the oddballs, but were you working with anyone on the other side besides like the Sunset? Like were you close with anyone else?
The way I kind of approached the game was not necessarily in terms of being, you know, 100% in with a specific group. I really wanted to make connections with individuals.
Okay.
So, you know, in terms of like, you know, I was really close with Kiefer, Tara, you know, Toya when she was there. So yeah, and you know, myself and Ro were kind of working together. Myself, Ro, Tara, and Kyle. So I guess there was kind of a lot of things kind of going on. You know, I think at one point there was an alliance with we called us the kind of pink ladies. So it was kind of myself, Tara, Beth, and Vic at one point.
Oh,
So
wow.
so
Okay.
yeah, there's all kinds of alliances. It was definitely the season for alliances this year. Everybody had a lot going on.
Okay.
Yeah, and did you know about the Sauce Alliance? while you're in the house?
Not while I was in the house, no. Well, we kind of knew that the trio were a trio. We just, nobody knew what their name was, so it was quite interesting when Jed came to jury and revealed what their name was. It was kind of cool.
Yeah.
Nice. And what are you the most proud of about your game?
You know what? I wanted to go in and kind of be true to the person I am, in the sense of, caring for people, just kind of being genuine, and just being there for people. Being in the house is a hard place to be, at the best of times. You're away from your friends and your family and everything that, you love at home. So, when people were down and out, I wanted to be there for them in terms of just, being comfort. So, I'm proud of the fact that I was able to make so many great connections with so many people in that house.
Nice.
Do you think you made any mistakes or regrets in your game?
Um, I think anyone who didn't make it to the final two would say that they would have, some sort of maybe regret in their game, or things maybe that they would have done slightly different. I guess mine would probably have been, I would have loved to have more game conversation with Jed and Ty specifically. I think that we kind of started having those game conversations a little bit later. So I would have liked to have started that a little bit earlier.
Okay.
And if you could go back, who would you align with differently?
Who would I align with differently? Good question. You know what? I don't know if I would align myself differently. I was really close with Kiefer, and Kiefer was really close with the Sunsetter, so that kind of benefited my game. I aligned with Tara. I guess maybe had my time back, I would have liked, had LT stayed in the house longer. I would have liked to work with LT a lot longer.
Okay.
Hmm.
And what was slop like?
Oh God, slop was gross. It's the worst thing I have ever tasted. I never want to eat it again.
Wow.
It was gross. I mean, great for the waistline, but
Yeah. I mean, I forgot who mentioned it on our podcast, but someone said that they were shocked that you like
Oh, it was
barely
Kiefer.
ate. It was Kiefer,
Yeah.
I think, said that like, oh my God, like Tina barely ate any slop, or you were drinking your tea or something.
Yes.
you know what? When you're on slop, you drink a lot of tea so you can fill up, so you can avoid eating it.
Yeah.
I mean, we'd make these like slop muffins, and they weren't very big, but if I had 3 of those a day, that's probably what I ate.
Yeah,
They were gross.
For sure.
I'm sure.
And what was your fave and least fave comp?
My favorite comp was probably the one, the TikTok 3-part one.
Yeah, that was
I really enjoyed that one. That
Yeah.
was fun. It was where it was 3 parts. It kind of gave you that little bit of, fire to kind of go through each section and just kind of continue on.
Mhm.
But in that particular one, myself and Tara were on the block at that time. So it was great to kind of see both of us in the final part. And, I was really proud for Tara getting that one. She totally deserved it. And of course, she wanted to have that POV ceremony on the anniversary of her brother's death. So that really meant a lot that she was able to do that. My least favorite, it had to be that running back and forth in the ball pit.
Oh yeah.
that one.
I was not a fan of that one. There was balls everywhere. I really did not want to fall and crack my neck.
Oh yeah.
It looked really tough, honestly.
Yeah, no, that was a strenuous one. It really was. That was definitely not my challenge.
Yeah, that
Um,
one was hard.
when during that comp, everyone was putting the balls in Tara's tube. Were you
Yeah.
aware that was going on, or were you just like focused on your game? And
I was kind of focused on going back and forth. At one point I kind of scoot out front just to kind of see who was kind of being targeted. I kind of figured going into it that Tara was going to get targeted, and then myself probably after. Those other house guests, man, they're fast. So I
yeah,
couldn't
who
keep
were you
up with
gunning
them.
for in that comp?
Pardon?
Who are you gunning for in that comp?
Who was I gunning for? You know what? I really didn't get my strategy in that particular one was not necessarily to go and get the balls with the X in them to put them in other people's bins, because I knew that I was going to be a target to, get the negative balls as well. I just wanted to concentrate on trying to get as many of the balls that I could put in my bin, so that the end number would kind of be a little bit better.
Yeah.
Very true. So we just wanted to say thank you so much for being on our podcast. We really appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks for having me. That was great.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for listening, everyone.
Bye, guys.
Have a good one.
Bye.